Hello, good evening. Welcome to ITV News. This is Friday night's calendar.
Hello, thank you for joining us, and here are tonight's main stories.
Fear, that's what we feel right now. We are in total fear and shock.
A West Yorkshire rabbi describes how the Jewish community is living in fear following the Manchester terror attack. Also on the programme.
Devastation by the petrol pumps the moment a car ploughs through the front of a South Yorkshire service station.
I just want to clear out some misconceptions.
The little girl from Leeds who's making a massive difference around stoma awareness.
We end the week and begin the weekend with Storm Amy knocking on our door. Some very heavy rain and exceptionally strong, damaging winds. I have the full weekend forecast for you before the end of the programme.
Onto the wall-packed benches now.
And Emmerdale plays host to a Saturday night classic.
I'll be talking to vintage bus driver Phil here at the South Yorkshire Transport Museum about how he's taken on the challenge of a lifetime.
Living in fear. That's how one rabbi in Leeds describes how his community is feeling in the aftermath of the fatal attack on a synagogue in Manchester.
The images of what happened yesterday have been seen around the world, but for Jews living only an hour or so away from the scene of the terror attack, the threat feels alarmingly close to home.
And worryingly, many in the Jewish community in Leeds think yesterday's horrific violence was almost inevitable and have described to Calendar how they fear it may be repeated, as Fraser Maud reports.
Angry, scared, worried, emotional, resilient. That's how one member of the large Jewish population in Leeds summarised the feelings amongst his community following the terror attack in Manchester.
Get back! If you're not involved, move back!
2 people were fatally injured, one of them potentially shot in error by Greater Manchester Police, before the suspect named by the force as Jihad al-Shami was himself fatally shot. Members of the Jewish community here say it's a crime that has caused much grief and distress.
The sheer disbelief that any synagogue, any British Jew on the holiest day of the year should be subject to such horrific incident, unrest, terrorism, hate and hatred was and continues to be of immense pain and fear. That's what we feel right now. We are in total fear and shock.
Despite the shocking nature of the attack, many Jews feel it was almost an inevitability.
The racism that Jewish people face in this city, in this country, has exploded since the 7th of October. It's always existed, but it's exploded since. And we want to see things change. But the question is, why is it in 2025, British Jewish people, because that's what we are, British Jews, are subject to racist attacks, and tragically yesterday, a violent terrorist attack that left 2 people murdered?
There is now a real fear that the abhorrent scenes in Manchester could be repeated.
The chances of it happening again have risen exponentially after yesterday, because once people find it can be done once, the temptation to repeat it is enormous. And synagogues have evacuation procedures. That's fine. Most big buildings have that. We have lockdown procedures. And that is because we know it may be necessary.
Leeds City Council has said it'll implement a multi-agency strategy to support the Jewish community, which will include high-visibility policing. But the community itself will have to continue its grieving against a backdrop of fear. Fraser Maud, ITV News, Leeds.
Of course, there'll be much more on the Manchester synagogue attacks on the ITV Evening News, which follows this programme at 6:30. Next, police are investigating 3 serious sexual assaults in the space of 20 minutes in a park in Leeds early yesterday. 2 women were attacked in Hyde Park around 2 o'clock in the morning. When officers were called to the scene, a 3rd woman came forward saying she'd also been sexually assaulted there 20 minutes earlier. Police have put on extra patrols in the area and are now asking for anyone with information to come forward. The area is popular with students and the university is working to reassure people.
My advice would be make sure that you're staying in groups and avoid poorly lit areas. If you see anything suspicious, please call the police, the university, the union. There's thousands of students that live here, and also there are so many services that the union has, the university have. We have the night bus at LUU, which takes you directly to your door. There's lots of tackling sexual violence initiatives going on at the university and the union.
Next tonight, to the terrifying moment a car ploughed through the front window of a petrol station in Sheffield.
This footage shows the BMW smashing through the subway part of the BP garage on Greendale Road after it veered off the dual carriageway in Darnall last night.
Well, this is how it's looking this evening, and it's from there where our reporter Vicky Smith sent more details of what happened.
Well, the petrol station was open and there were customers and staff inside when this happened, but thankfully no one was hurt. But you can really see the true extent of the damage. This entire corner boarded up. There are bollards, 2 bollards that are just been ploughed into and are now laying flat on the ground, but it's on the inside where you can really see just how close a call this was. The car smashed through the glass right next to the table seating of the subway here. The impact bending the metal framework of the building as it's gone through. But thankfully, the subway was closed and no one was sat there at the time. And it was about 9:10 last night when police were called to this collision. CCTV showing a car travelling down Greendale Road and appearing to lose control before it veers into the garage here. Videos then showing the front half of this BMW just wedged in between the building framework. Now, I've been speaking to road safety campaigners who live and work in this area who say that they are really concerned by this incident and think that the roads around here are becoming more problematic.
There's that many incidents going on here now. It wasn't that much of a surprise, to be honest with you. It was quite of a drastic thing what happened. Our coach had just finished his session. He was parked up here, as you can see in the video with the black Jeep. His kids had just got out, so he really missed them by, literally just a few inches.
Over the last few weeks, we've had some serious accidents. They've been videotaped, they've been seen, and still no one's doing anything about it. It's going to take, unfortunately, someone to pass away for the council, unfortunately, to take it seriously.
Well, South Yorkshire Police has today said that the driver was not injured in this collision and has been cooperative. They say that the driver has been reported on summons to appear before court for driving without due care.
Vicky Smith reporting there from Sheffield. An army chef from Chesterfield has appeared at the Old Bailey accused of having a homemade cannon and other weapons. 27-year-old Mark Broadhurst, who's based at Catterick Garrison in North Yorkshire, was arrested last September after 2 Chesterfield homes were searched. He's been charged with having an explosive substance and possessing a firearm without a licence. A provisional trial date has been set for June.
A man's in hospital after apparently being crushed under a roller machine as he worked on a road in Doncaster earlier today. Eyewitnesses say the man was working in Leicester Avenue and was seriously hurt when he was run over by the resurfacing machine. Several ambulances, including the Yorkshire Air Ambulance, were sent to the scene. South Yorkshire Police and the Health and Safety Executive are now investigating.
Now, a 9-year-old girl from Leeds has taken to social media to help teach more people about her colostomy procedure ahead of Stoma Awareness Day.
Katie Thurling from Bramley has thousands of followers and posts frank but funny videos showing the results of her life-changing operation.
Well, she's also the youngest member of a support group formed in the city to help the 17,000 people just like her in our region. Matt Price has the story.
I just want to clear out some misconceptions.
She might only be 9, but Katie Thurling doesn't hide away from the cameras or hide this, her stoma, an operation she had 12 months ago due to complex bowel issues.
Do I smell it, Summit? Why is there so much taboo around poo?
She takes to social media to tell people all about it. It's her way of trying to reduce the stigma.
So nobody's ashamed, a bit afraid of it. No one's scared to show it, no one's hating on it. Everyone educates and understands it's something helpful. It's helped me go to places I haven't been before.
Having the problem with her tummy, she'd found herself in and out of hospital a lot on medication. And it was that case of whatever worked and whatever helped her. We needed to go with it.
And at her school, they've had to learn all about the condition. Staff now have the knowledge on how to help her change a colostomy bag. Inclusion, they say, is key.
So when she first came back, Katie did a presentation to her class and some of the other classes. But she's so fabulous at raising awareness about this issue, reducing stigma, demystifying it.
Katie and her mum also attend this support group in Leeds. It's chaired by Alan here, who also has a stoma and draws on his own experiences.
There was no support group in the city, so we decided let's set one up somewhere for people to talk to other people who have a stoma, because you get lots of support from nurses and the medical profession, but they don't actually know what it's like and have a lived experience of it.
The operation sees a part of the bowel or urinary system brought to the skin's surface. It's often needed if the bowel or bladder is not functioning properly. And ahead of Stoma Awareness Day tomorrow, charities are working hard to teach more people about it.
A day like this gives us real focus to be able to actually highlight that for most people, stomas aren't actually life-limiting, they're life-enabling. You can play sport, you can go on holiday. Stoma bags actually don't smell.
Before I couldn't not eat my favourite fruit, strawberries. I couldn't eat broccoli. I even struggled to have soup.
Katie has some 2,500 followers on her social media. She might be small, but her voice is loud and she's determined to be heard. Matt Price, ITV News, Leeds.
What an incredible young woman. OK, thanks for watching Friday night's calendar. Still to come before the end of the programme. A Saturday night classic calls into the Emmerdale village.
Loving the hand coordination on that one, Phil. He's got it. He knows what he's doing.
So how did vintage bus driver Phil Morton fare when he picked up some celebrity passengers for the afternoon tea of a lifetime? Now, how are you at remembering to take out your own shopping bags to the supermarket, Michael?
I'm really not great. I do try. I'm also too tight to buy new bags when I'm there, to be honest.
So you just grab it all.
Exactly, armfuls.
Well, you've got no excuse because you've had 10 years to get used to it since supermarkets brought in charges for single-use plastic bags.
Well, it's said to have drastically reduced the number of bags in circulation, but still hasn't solved the problem of plastic pollution. Kevin Ashford reports.
It's going to be a 5p charge for a bag.
Okay, no problem.
Is that right?
Yeah,
No problem.
Thank you very much.
A decade ago, shoppers were in for a bit of a shock. The introduction of a 5p charge for previously free single-use carrier bags. Over the years, it's meant a shift in shopping habits for many, like these people we spoke to in Sheffield.
Well, we don't buy any bags. We've got our own bags, so we use them every week. So yeah, pleased with that. Yeah, it all goes to landfill. So that's just my opinion.
It should be compulsory that everybody needs to have a bag when you come into the shop, and that will solve this. Help also deal with the environment.
I need waterproof bags because I go on the bus.
Yeah.
You know, you might get caught in the rain. You don't want your bread all soggy, do you?
The government says the charge has cut the number of single-use plastic bags being purchased by 98% over the decade, although more than 400 million are still sold across the country every year.
They don't get recycled. They tend to get incinerated or landfilled or land dumped.
Cressida Bowyer studies the impact of policies like the plastic bag charge. She says it should be followed by other changes.
Let's move from the linear disposable economy to a more circular practice where we use reusables and refillables, and let's refuse more plastic packaging. So, you know, we've got used to bags, and I think we're all getting used to having our refillable water bottles, carrying our refillable coffee cups with us. So it's this shift from disposable to reusable.
As well as changing our habits when we go shopping and reducing the number of plastic bags in circulation, that charge on plastic bags has had other effects too. Money raised has gone towards good causes like this one.
Hi guys, what have you found?
Beach cleans, which are partially funded by the bag charge, collect data which can reveal trends in environmental pollution. For instance, last year 14 beach cleans in North Yorkshire produced more than 18,500 kilograms of rubbish, although that's a 50% reduction on the previous year. But while there's a lot fewer plastic bags being discarded, other plastics still make up the vast majority of items found.
Plastic never really disappears. It just breaks down and down and down into smaller pieces until you can no longer see it. So microplastics are one of the biggest issues that we have in terms of pollution in the ocean. As those plastics break down, it increases the number of species that can ingest them, and in turn that then makes its way into our water systems and into our food sources, so then pose a risk for humans as well.
So it seems there's still plenty of scope for all of us to clean up our act. Kevin Ashford, ITV News.
Yes, I must try harder. Right, time for some sport now. Arif joins us, and Arif, still no sign of any payment for Sheffield Wednesday staff or players?
No, unfortunately not, Michael. Wages were due to be paid at the start of the week. But it's now the 5th time in 7 months they've been paid late, but their manager says they're carrying on regardless.
Powering local sport in the community. Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
Sheffield Wednesday boss Henrik Pedersen says his players remain fully committed despite not being paid. There was a suggestion that some players would refuse to train while they waited for their wages. Pedersen insists that the squad have trained as normal as the club look to extend their unbeaten run when they take on Coventry at Hillsborough tomorrow afternoon.
Of course, it's tough for the players, it's tough for the staff, it's tough for the coaches, it's tough for everyone. But everyone, also today, I feel everyone bring all the energy what they can, what they have, to make a good training today, and we're all looking forward for a tough game tomorrow.
In the Premier League, Leeds United will look to go into the international break with their unbeaten home record intact. The Whites are yet to taste defeat at Ellen Road, having won 1 and drawn 2 from their opening 3 games. They'll be without Dan James for the visit of Spurs tomorrow lunchtime. He's out with an ankle injury. Head coach Daniel Farke says his team need to build on the strong start they've made.
It's good that we had such a positive start, performance-wise, also result-wise, but it's a long road, and we have to make sure that even we deliver with consistency further on, and we need to win many more points in order to achieve our target, because yes, with just 8 points, we won't be allowed to stay in this league, so we have to keep going.
Now, there's potentially a really interesting fixture in the Rugby League, isn't there, this weekend?
Yeah, there certainly is, Michael. The York City Knights have the chance to create some history and win a treble for the first time. With the 1895 Cup and the league leaders in the bag, this weekend they take on Toulouse in the Championship Grand Final. Now, the winner won't automatically be promoted, but with the expansion of Super League next year and a new grading system, the Knights have a great chance to play top-level rugby for the very first time. Preparing for one final battle. After a long and gruelling season, the York City Knights will suit up once more as they prepare to go into combat with Toulouse in the Championship Grand Final.
It should be a good game. It's something that we've worked hard for all year. So it's whoever nails it on the day now. So 80 minutes away from hitting one of his goals. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. It should be a good occasion for the city of York as well.
You've got 2 trophies already in the bag.
York Knights, Wembley winners.
What do you mean to get 3rd?
I think it would mean a lot to everyone involved in this club, involved in the city. This is the main goal for us, and would I look at it as a success if we didn't get this one? I'm not so sure. So we'll be going all out to make sure we get this 3rd. It's York on the attack again. York could be in the corner.
The Knights go into the match as slight favourites. The semi-final win over Halifax extended their unbeaten run to 20 matches.
And there is the hooter.
They'll also have home advantage, with the game being played at the York Community Stadium.
Getting a chance to do it at home in front of our fans, I think that makes the occasion even specialer. Toulouse come here earlier on in the year and beat us, so we're taking nothing for granted. It's just one more game where we have to be fully focused and ready to do his job.
It has been said that the history of York is the history of England.
The city of York is known for its high tea and horse racing rather than its rugby, but that could be about to change. Well, winning the grand final won't see York promoted, but with Super League expanding from 12 to 14 teams next season, they'll earn vital grading points, which teams are now judged on, and that could be enough to see them play top-level rugby in 2026.
It's got everything in place in terms of facilities, and infrastructure. It's an iconic city in the UK. A tourist attraction, gets millions of visitors every year. If we can add a rugby league team to that in the top flight, I think it's a very attractive prospect indeed, not only for top level rugby league, but the city of York in general.
I'm on ball. Having won once and lost once to Toulouse this season, they'll hope to find a chink in their armour when these Knights go riding into battle.
Wouldn't we just love to see them win that historic treble on Sunday?
Oh, it'd be brilliant. And if they get into Super League, we've got a football team in the Football League in York. It'd be great if they had a team in Super League as well.
Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing? They're not going to lose.
Hey.
Get it? Thanks. Cheers, Aaron. Thank you. Now then, if cider is your tipple of choice, then you might just be in luck, because local producers say the very hot and dry summer has produced a huge abundance of apples rich in sweetness and flavour.
Some cider makers are reporting that their harvest began in mid-August, the earliest in more than a century.
Well, Nick Smith now reports on why this could be a vintage year for apple growers.
Early October is smack bang in the middle of apple harvest season. And in the orchards at Amber Valley Vineyards near Clay Cross in Derbyshire, there's almost too many to pick from. After a washout of wet weather last year, this time around their trees have been doing much, much better.
Well, it's been phenomenal this year. As you can see, we're carrying a massive crop of apples this year, which after last year's disastrous weather and conditions is a real bonus for us. So it's all a bit crazy this year. And of course, the apples only recently kind of plumped up, as it were. They were looking quite small early in the season. We were a little bit worried, but it turned out to be a bumpy year.
Nationwide, the cider industry supports 65,000 jobs, and producers are hoping this year's bumper crop could reverse a slow decline in consumption in the last decade or so.
Well, these are all 46,000 litre tanks, and at the moment they're busily fermenting away with new juice.
David Sheppy was this year's chair of the National Association of Cider Makers and says the shifting weather patterns have seen a move away from certain varieties which have traditionally been grown for centuries.
The sugar contents have been amazing, and the rain we've had in September will now help the apples swell. One thing we are noticing, some of those traditional varieties are actually struggling with the weather patterns we get as well, so that they need a certain amount of cold winter weather to go in like a dormant stage, and they're not necessarily getting enough of that. What you plant today isn't really going to be available to you for another 10, 15, possibly 20 years. We do have to think, what are the varieties we're looking for the future?
The record-breaking temperatures and long periods of dry and sunny weather over the course of this summer producing this abundance of apples was actually made 70 times more likely due to the onset of climate change. That's according to analysis by the Met Office, which could suggest that our weather patterns are becoming more volatile.
Spring and summer this year have both been the warmest on record, so these are definitely unusual record-breaking events. But I think the point is that these unusual record-breaking events are going to become more frequent. We're going to see wetter, warmer winters, and we're going to see drier, warmer summers and springs. There's going to be more occurrences of drought over the summer, so that will require adaptation by the farmers.
While it may be a vintage year for one of our oldest industries, it's one of many which is trying to future-proof itself from a climate which is going to become harder and harder to rely on. Nick Smith, ITV News.
Well, I'm delighted for cider producers, but it does nothing for me.
Not for me. Give me a pint of lager instead, please.
Oh, yeah, lager girl.
Finally, tonight, it was a Saturday night staple in the 80s and 90s, and now You Bet is back. Not only that, it's hitting the road and it's stopping by at the Emmerdale Village tomorrow night.
Yes, that's where bus driver Phil Morton from Rotherham bet the panel that he could drive a vintage double-decker around a course without knocking all of the tea, sandwiches or cakes off the tables upstairs, all while the cast of Emmerdale had afternoon tea on the top deck.
Well, Adam Fowler's at the South Yorkshire Transport Museum with Phil now. How did he get on, Adam?
Well, we'll find out how we got on in just a moment, but first let's take a minute just to appreciate this beautiful bus that we've got here. This is a Leyland Titan PD3 from 1959 in beautiful beige with a 59-seat capacity. There you go, and it's this very bus that Phil here was driving around a course and trying to do it in under 3 minutes without spilling any tea. Is that right?
That's right, yes. Yeah.
How do you get on, Phil?
I can't tell you the result. I have to watch it tomorrow night to find that out.
You will have to watch it tomorrow night, but we do have a sneak peek that we can just show you now, just to give you a little flavour of Phil's performance.
Loving the hand coordination on that one, Phil.
He's got it. He knows what he's doing. It certainly sounds like it was chaotic. We can see a few of those pictures there.
It was a challenge, definitely, and that was the whole point of it for you, Bet. It was a great experience.
Yeah, and look at what a great job you've done here on the bus as well. Look at this specialised number plate here of YouBet, and up at the top as well. This thing's often hired out for weddings. And Phil didn't just race around that track, he brought his dad with him as well. Colin, you're very proud of your son here?
I'm very proud of him, yeah. It's a good job I weren't doing it. It took a lot longer than what you did it.
Yeah. And this was all your idea, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, good idea. We had this idea of doing it, a trip with a bus with stuff on, and see where we went on. We did quite well, yeah.
Half the Emmerdale cast upstairs.
Yes.
Were they nice? Do you know how they were getting on up there while you were driving?
Honestly, they were lovely. I didn't know how I was getting on around the course. I was just concentrating on what I was doing and trying not to get them too wet and too covered in chocolate and cakes.
Just a few reassuring screams from them upstairs.
Yeah, the 1 or 2 screams, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And were you both big fans of YouBet back in the day?
Yes, well, yeah, definitely. Matthew Kelly and Bruce Forsyth, watched both of them, yeah.
Forsyth and Kelly, who do you prefer? Kelly, Forsyth?
Bruce Forsyth. Matthew Kelly.
There we go. All right, well, if you want to see this beautiful bus and see how Phil got on, you can watch it tomorrow on ITV1 at 6 p.m.
Adam, thank you very much. We'll be tuning in, won't we, Michael?
We certainly will. What do you reckon? Has Phil got it or not?
It looked a bit chaotic in there, didn't it?
Yeah, I think Emmerdale's dry cleaning bill has just gone through the roof. It did look a bit chaotic.
Well, fingers crossed.
We'll find out tomorrow. Right, let's take a look at the weather now. Here's James Wright with the full forecast.
Today's forecast: seafood and sugar cube towns. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Hi there, good evening. A rather wet and breezy end to the week, all courtesy of Storm Amy. It's going to set us up for a pretty unsettled weekend, all in all. More wet and windy weather to come. Also feeling a little bit cooler as we head into Sunday. We need to talk about the winds. That's going to be a particular issue through tomorrow. Pretty much a warning in force across the patch, but I think the worst of the weather for us between about 7 in the morning until roughly lunchtime. What's going on? Well, Amy is continuing to deepen over the next few hours. That rain band now clearing, the second one tucked in behind, some pretty squally conditions there. But as Amy moves ahead to the north, we get a real squeeze on the isobars. That's where these really strong winds are going to come from. I suspect we're looking at gusts around the 50 to 60 mile an hour mark, particularly up on the higher grounds. As far as this evening goes then, here comes that next little feature. That's got some squally little downpours on it. Some really strong winds wrapped around the heaviest of the showery bursts there. Then it's back to more scattered showers and the winds ease off a little bit. Still windy, but not quite as strong, not quite as gusty. Temperatures 9 Celsius, pretty much across the board. And then tomorrow, bright, breezy, showery. Then comes the wraparound occlusion. This has again got some pretty heavy bursts of rain, and that's when we're seeing the strongest gusts up to that 60 mile an hour mark. That then eases off into the afternoon. It's still going to be breezy and much cooler. We're looking at highs of around 12 or 13 Celsius. Winds still a feature on Sunday, but easing off and hopefully fewer showers too. Take care.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Thank you, James. Bit of a wet weekend, unfortunately. That's about
Sorry,
it from us for now. The ITV Evening News continues next with Lucrezia Millerini.
I'll be back with the late news at 10:30, but from all of the team on Calendar, thanks very much for watching. Have a great weekend.
See you later on. Bye-bye.